Aloha guys, welcome to another Dreamweaver tutorial. My name is Jayla Scanlon, and in the last tutorial we imported our HTML file from our folder that we had created in the last tutorial. So we have now our images folder over here, and then we have our HTML. So I double clicked on HTML and it brought up our little web layout, and as you can see, all the slices are still intact, and we want that. That is what we wanted. So in this tutorial we're going to start creating the actual pages for our website, and just to note that when you create your HTML files, each one of them will be a .html file because that is what is readable on the internet. And so in this tutorial we're going to start creating all of the different pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to create all 5 of these pages, and then we're going to show you how you can link each page to each link. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is right now we have this HTML file, or our HTML opened right here. And what we can do is we can actually let's put it on split view. If you click on split view, you start to see all the HTML that you're probably fairly familiar with. You see the title up here, you can see your head and your body. All of these additional things are things that have been created by Photoshop when we saved this web.html file. So what we want to do is we want to highlight the whole thing, starting from, you can start from the title, but I like to finish from head. So if we want to select all of this and go down until we get to the end, let's go to the end of table, and then we are going to copy this. So we can go to edit and copy, and then what we want to do is now we want to create a new template. So file, new. Now we are on our blank page, HTML, none. We want to keep them all preset and click create. So now we have a blank canvas, and now we have our HTML because we are still in the split view. You can go back to the design view if you want, but for this purpose we want to stick on to, and we want to keep with the design view. Now what you want to do is you want to highlight the head and make sure that the body is not highlighted, because we selected the end head tab from the last copy that we did. So we're going to go to edit and we're going to paste. Now we've pasted the information that we got from web.html, and we have now created nothing. Now when we select in this, as you can see, a lot of these tags show that they're broken, and the reason being is because we have not saved it. And so what we're going to do now is we are going to actually preview this to see if it looks exactly like we did in the web.html. And so what we can do is we can go right up here to the globe, make sure that the globe is there, and this is our preview button. And when you click it, you can preview Firefox, Internet Explorer, or Device Central, depending on what computer you're using. If you're using a Mac, it would say preview in Firefox, preview in Safari. So it uses and utilizes the different internet browsers that you have. So I want to click preview in Firefox, save changes. Yes, we want to save this this first document. Make sure that we are in our folder that we want, website, and we are going to call this index.html. Now if you remember from the last section with HTML and CSS, it was very important that we saved the index.html because that is the very first link, I guess if you want to call it that, that the internet searches for. And so this is going to be our home page, and we want to keep it that way. So index.html, and we want to click save. And so let's bring up Firefox, and as you can see, my website is now on the internet. Well, at least it's being previewed through Firefox. So now we know what it will look like when it comes time to, import everything into onto the internet to view. So this, now we've been able to preview, and we've saved our first page, which is our index.html. So now what we want to do is since we have already copied the information, we can now create new pages, make sure that they're blank, and copy the information as we did in the last one. Select head, and then edit and paste. There you go. As you can see, it's nothing. It'll still show the same thing, and we want to preview this. So go to the preview in Firefox, save changes, yes, and then if we actually, before we do that, if we go to our web.html, we can go to our web layout and make reference to what kind of pages we want. So we have 5 pages. Remember that home page is the index.html. So now we want to create one called about.html, another one called graphics.html, video, and so forth. So let's do that right now. So if we go back to Untitled 2, go to the globe, preview in Firefox, or whichever one, yes, we want to save it, and we want to call this one about.html. Make sure it's very important that you save it as an HTML file. That way it is readable as a, there you go, readable as a internet ready, or I guess an online ready page document. So we've done those two. Now that we've saved these two, we can now start completing the rest of our pages. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the other ones, and then I will come back. Okay, so now we've created all the different HTML documents, and you can double click these on the side to bring them all up. So we have video, so these are the 5 pages that we have. We have our home button, we have our home page, about page, contact page, graphics, and video. There should be another one, contact, I think it was. Oh no, contact's up here. Okay, so we have all our pages. Now one thing that you'll notice is that when we preview it, it actually goes to it's kind of like on the side, and we want this kind of in the middle, and that's a really easy fix. So what we want to do is first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we've highlighted table here on the split. When you're on the split screen, go to the HTML panel, and if you right click on the table, you can edit tag, and then when you edit the tag, you can make the alignment center. And when you do that and click OK and refresh, as you can see, it's centered here. And then when we preview it in Firefox, it will ask us to save. So make sure you make the save, and there we go. So now we have our website right dead in the center, and that's how we want it. As you can see, we've made the change, and that's what we wanted. So if you remember that, let's go to another page and try that again. Go to index, make sure that you're on the table ID, right click, edit tag, make sure that the alignment is in center, click OK, refresh it, and then finally you want to preview it and make sure that you save. So right now, click yes, and it should be right in the center. But that's it from me for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial.